There will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen this episode of Rings of Power, then don't watch this review yet. This is another one of those, it's a little bit better episodes, but it still isn't very good. It's not a complete train wreck for me just from an entertainment perspective, but I'm sure there are hardcore Tolkien fans who are dying on the inside right now. In this episode, the people of wherever have escaped the Tower of who knows what and have returned to fortify the village of what's-his-face, and they have a battle, and Numenor shows up just in time to save the day. Unfortunately, the sword of whoosy-whatsy is stolen and some guy sticks it in the ground at that tower, and then the mountain blows up. I'm assuming that's Mount Doom, and we have just witnessed the origin of Mordor. So there are some things I liked. First off, we finally get to see an elf get beat up by a bigger opponent. Legolas and other elves are cool and everything in the films, but it gets kind of old seeing invincible elves. Arondir actually meets an opponent that was about to kill him, were it not for the cliched, bad guy is about to stab our hero, but then someone comes up from behind and stabs the bad guy first. I liked the ending. We finally see what the orcs were building those tunnels for, and a big mountain explodes, and I thought, oh, I know what that is! Unfortunately, there were a lot of things I didn't like. First, there are some serious lapses in logic. How did that kid know where Arondir hid the sword? Arondir said he was going to hide it so that no one would know where it was. You expect me to believe that kid followed and snuck up on an elf? And then how did the human at the end steal the blade? Did someone just leave it lying around? Why did the huge orc just stand behind Arondir without any weapons while Arondir walked backwards? Why didn't he have a sword like all the other orcs and just stab him in the back? Why did the people so quickly accept Halbrand as their king? No one bothered to say, hey, how do we know this guy really is a king? Because he has a little bag with a seal on it? Do these people even want a king? I also don't like the cliches. I already mentioned one, but another one I don't like is when one guy saves another guy at the last minute in battle, and then they give each other the head nod like, I got you, bro. I don't like it when our hero is about to kill someone, and another person says, no, don't! We need him alive! Killing him won't bring back the ones you love. The dialogue is still a major problem. Halbrand is about to kill the Dark Elf as revenge for an unknown atrocity, and Galadriel says, you cannot quench thirst by drinking salt water. Well, I thought the sea was always right, so there. You didn't have a more relevant analogy for that situation? And this show got really violent all of a sudden. There were glimpses of more than PG-13 violence in previous episodes, but in this one they just go full TV MA, which still feels really awkward in this series. We have daggers going into eyeballs, then the daggers get pulled out of the eyeballs, then black blood gushes out of the eyeballs and into the open mouths of other people. And of course, they have to do that thing I hate where someone gets injured and they're bleeding all over the place and they need to do a makeshift surgery. We have to stop the bleeding! Get me a burning piece of wood! And we get close-ups of the gushing wound and it's making that sound effects while they're trying to operate on it. That's cheap, low-quality filler suspense, and we don't need that. Overall, the show is still mediocre, but at least we finally got to see something of consequence happen.